Hello and welcome to today's question, which answers a question I get asked all the time. Now, this question used to really bug me. Students said, "How many words do I have to write, sir?" And I always said, look, that isn't the question. You've got a time limit, write to the time limit, and as soon as the time limit ends, you stop the answer. Simple as that. However, I now have a new answer based on research. And this research is absolutely fascinating. Let's take a look at it here. This comes from the Times Educational Supplement, and it's looking at the relationship between word counts and English literature grades. But it's going to be just as relevant to language. And let's see what it's telling us. It's based on exams that were taken before 2017, so we're still using these grades, A star and down to U. But it's telling us something really very interesting. For A star, you need to have roughly 700 words. So we're looking at the median and the mean. I'm just going to use the mean figure, but you can see they're very similar all the way through, which is great news. It means we can trust these numbers. For an A grade, candidates on average had to write 652 words. For a B grade, roughly 600. For a C grade, roughly 540. For a D grade, 500. An E grade, 460. And a U grade, 384. So what does that mean? Well, that means that's how much you've got to write in about 45 minutes. That's typically what a literature question takes. So your number one job when you're preparing for this exam is actually to sit some past papers and write and see how many words you can get. Now, it's like training for a marathon. You don't just go out and say, well, I'll go and run 13 miles today, because it's impossible to do. What you do is you build it into smaller chunks. And so what I would suggest is that you speed write, keeping as legible as possible with your speed, for 10 minutes, 15, 20, whatever your current level of concentration is, and build it up till you get to that 45-minute mark. And obviously later on you want to build that even further, because some of your English exams are over 2 hours long. They're real killers. And actually they're just there to reward people with stamina. Okay, well, what else can we find out from this information that's really useful to us? Nearly all responses of fewer than 200 words resulted in a U. So that's really clear. If you don't write much, the examiner will penalise you massively. No candidate was awarded a grade better than a B without writing at least 300 words. So a B is now a grade 5 to grade 6. Only 9 out of 605 candidates were awarded an A star had a word count below 400. You know, students are often told it's quality, not quantity. Well, yes, but you have to be absolutely awesome to make it in 400 words or less. So your best bet is to get to 600 or 700 words of quality. Don't rely on being able to be at the top end with few words. But the good news is you only need to write 3 or 4 pages. You know, you don't have to go massively beyond that. I mean, I did have many students who wrote 5, 6 pages and did get full marks, okay? So I'm not saying don't do it. But for most students, if they concentrate on quality in shorter numbers of pages, 3 to 4, you will get a really good grade. This is particularly crucial in the language questions, paper 1 and paper 2, where you don't need huge amounts to really succeed. In fact, if you've watched my videos on the exam, you'll know that the examiners say lots of students lost marks by writing more because they couldn't sustain the quality for long enough. I don't know why that's a bullet point. Sorry about that. I'll get rid of it. That's to get grades 7, 8 and 9. You need to write 700 to 750 words, and you've just got to build up the stamina to do that. And finally, for grade 6, which is not too shabby, but not the top grades, you need 550 to 650 words. So now you don't have to ask your teacher how much you need to write. you absolutely know. So I completely love the research because it gives you the definitive answers. It's not my opinion, it's not your teacher's opinion, it's fact as far as we can find it out. And finally, if you are a teacher and also interested in the research, then check out my book. I'm passionate about what the research tells us because it means there's no flim-flam, there's no rubbish, there's no opinion in it. This is the stuff that actually works, and I show you how in this book. It is awesome, even though I've only had 7 reviews so far. Go and review it. Anyway, if you would like more useful videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.